Hello and welcome to this new video. Melissa Ramirez, I'm your host, and I'm so excited that you're here. Today, we're going to be speaking about a topic that personally was present through so many moments of my life. I am here to share with you conscious tools in very practical ways that rewire your identity for success. So, if you're into that, I have a special gift for you that you can find clicking here in my bio. So, now we're going to be talking about this feeling, this constant feeling of being behind. For the longest time, I have been doing research about neuroscience and the consciousness, the role of consciousness in neuroscience. And when I was looking into this topic, why do I feel behind? Why do I feel that no matter what I do, I was always not really matching that what I was expecting? And I couldn't celebrate. I would feel shame, guilt, because I was never in the place where I wanted to be. So when I started to do my research, the first advice that I found was one that you have probably heard. And before I share with you what solved this for me, I want you to know that this is going to be a very unconventional video. What you're going to find here, it's a whole different level to this trap. We are going to go to the root cause of this. Just wait for it. Now, when I was looking into this, the first thing that I found was comparison is the thief of joy. And the solution was stop comparing yourself to other people. And definitely it helped. I follow a process in which I stopped following people that wasn't really helping me grow. I stopped checking in other people's lifestyle. I started to focus my energy and my attention on myself. The thing is that I was still feeling like there was something that was missing. And I realized that sometimes when I was seeing things in other people, I was finding inspiration in that. I found that there was something in my heart that was genuinely happy to see other people thriving and finding their goals and going for success. I am the person who can find inspiration in other people winning. Now, the question was, why is it that I still feel like I'm behind? And here is what I found. I discovered that I was never behind other people's path, but I was always behind my own idea of higher self, my own idea of potential, my own potential self. And the worst thing is that the more that I studied methods, self-help, books, podcasts, I will feel even further away on my path to my higher self. And in that gap between where I was and where I was going, I found again shame and guilt and so much resistance that God would become bigger and bigger, and then I would be harder and harder on myself and more perfectionist because I was supposed to be somewhere else. So here's the trap. I understood from neuroscience that the idea of self was mindset, and that was staying as information, but I was not really downloading that idea into my nervous system for recalibration. Think about it this way. Your nervous system determines the capacity that you have to hold a whole new identity. And the information is like in a book stand, the information are the books, and the nervous system is the stand that is holding that information and connecting the dots. So the more information that I had, without that capacity, I would feel I couldn't be flexible enough to hold that potential self. So with more information, I will break and I will break and I will break my capacity before I was able to achieve it and embody it. What had to change? I didn't need more information. I didn't need another list on who is the version of me that I want to be. I didn't need to design a whole new version of myself. I needed to rewire my own nervous system to expand that capacity. And the way in which I could rewire my nervous system was changing my identity. What was the pain point or the challenge that I used to go through the most? That incoherence between my idea of self and the self that I was embodying. When that dissonance is created, it's almost like that what I'm thinking, that what I'm saying, that what I'm feeling, and that what I'm doing are in whole different places. And if self-esteem is the reputation that I have with myself based on my actions, then my self-esteem was so low because I knew I wanted to do something, I wouldn't do it. I would always fail to follow my inspiration, and then I will reprogram my brain with, I'm not enough, I'm not there yet, this is not working for me. Now, the moment in which I discover that no matter what your age is, no matter what your culture is, no matter for how long you have been repeating the same story, you have the potentiality and the capacity for neuroplasticity. I discovered that we can rewire our identity in a place in our brain that's called the default mood network. And what's the default mood network? Is the place where you say, who is Elizabeth? when you were born as a kid, you had no idea of who you are. Bold, courageous, afraid, beautiful, ugly, abundant, poor. You had no idea of anything that could create a characterization of you. Every single point of information that you have received about who you are has been created through your lifetime. So what we can do with neuroplasticity is change the whole story. So the way in which you tell yourself what those experiences mean about you, it's different and allows a space for expansion. Instead of being a victim, you go and you retell your stories and you rewire your stories in a way in which it shows you how capable you are, how ready you are, how willing you are, and it shows you you're always in this progression. Now the gap between your higher self and your actual self starts to close every single time that from that higher self you feel the call and the inspiration, and then you go and take action. That moment between the inspiration and the action is determined by choice, and the choice that you make is always determined by your own idea of self, your own self identity. So rewiring means you create a new idea, you are clear on who, and you're going to make this exercise. Be clear on a list. Who is my higher self? How does he or she moves, talks? What are the risks that they are taking? What is it that they are doing? How are they serving the world? How much do they make? What type of relationships do they have? And then next to it, who am I today? And how are you in your way to that? It's not, I am going to love myself. I am loving myself. It is not, I am going to be healthy. I am being healthy. I am making healthier decisions. And that's the way in which you're going to start reprogramming your own self-identity. Now, the way in which you really start feeling it in your body is through embodiment practices. The more information you have without downloading it into your system and into behavioral ways, the more stuck you're going to feel. The more information is going to be trapped in a circuit that has no way of flowing. I created for you a whole challenge on embodiment and neuroplasticity, rewiring your identity so that you can welcome that higher self into your life right now. This is a 6 days program, and you can access right now to the first part of that, which is a whole free mastermind for you to understand yourself better. There you're going to discover how your wiring was created in the first place, and what are the mechanisms you can start using right now to change the meaning you gave to yourself. Go to the link on my bio and you're going to discover that you have never been behind anyone else's plan. You have always been behind your own idea of self. And if you can hold that idea of self, it's because that is claiming you as well.